Hi, welcome to 5 Minutes with Fry. I am Jen Fry of Jen Fry Talks. Jen Fry Talks is a social justice firm that focuses on educating and empowering those with athletics through an anti-racist lens. I have another special guest on, and the special guest is one of my awesome mentors, Monique A.J. Smith. She is the CEO of Seeds of Empowerment. Hey, Monique.
Hey, Jen.
Hey. So I'm excited to have you on. You have just an amazing resume. You have tremendous knowledge. So from your professional and personal experience, what can athletic departments do to create a better experience for student athletes?
I believe interaction is the most. Even when I was a student, I remember they're bringing in every Wednesday. I think it was every third Wednesday, they would bring practitioners in. And I would be like, and it enlightens your mind to, number one, the careers, and then how they navigated that. So my undergraduate was in mass media. So I was always wondering about women being in media, television, writing, and could they have a family? So when I saw someone doing it, I always asked that question. I was not saying, can you have it all? But I was asked the question, can you do this? How did you do this? How did you navigate that? So it really helped me when I became one of the first female sports information directors in the industry. Even though, again, I was not in television, but I was in media/sports. And I had a foundation in the back of my mind. And again, mentors can be physical mentors, like you and I know each other, or it could be you hearing a podcast or hearing a book or something like that, and that kind of helps you go like, if they can do it, I can do it. It's like a roller coaster. People come off the roller coaster and go like, oh, that was great, or oh, that was scary, but then they come off, and then the people watching them go like, but they had fun. They screamed, they hollered, they laughed. But if they can get on that roller coaster and survive, I think I'll get on it too.
That makes complete sense. So now if we talk about your company, and the amazing things that Seeds of Empowerment has been doing now, I think for 6 years, is that right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
6 years. And so from the experiences that you've had of facilitating, speaking, keynote speaking, all that type of stuff, what do you see transition in what athletic departments had been doing to now what they are doing that's way more successful?
Well, I just want to back up. Seeds of Empowerment has been around since 2005.
Oh, excuse me. Woo!
I've been consulting, and I started out doing Title IX education.
Okay.
Really about the EADA reporting and how to really show what you're really doing for your student athletes. It comes back to the business office and how they file what you spend. And so, for instance, if you have a track and field team, girls and boys, or men and women in college side, you divide it. Even if you got the same coach, you divide it into two different entries, and then therefore you are serving both. So those things like that. I'm a leadership strategist ready to show people how to advance, whether the athletic department or individuals. So I tell you, I'm really excited about, I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm going about a way. The number of women who become athletic directors. And that's one of the things I did when I worked for the CIAA, Social Commissioner. I plan all these programs to give the women the tools to be in a position when the opportunity arises. So I've just taken that nationally with my Seeds of Empowerment and my podcast every week, Chat in the Garden with Monique A.J. Smith. So my point is that when young people can see diverse leadership, that makes them go like, oh, I can too. And you'd be really surprised with young men when they see women in leadership and how it makes them better when they work with other women in other industries. So even though our athletes may not go in athletic administration, they're going to go into the workplace, and they should not be shell-shocked. I'm going to give you a perfect example. When I was at the conference office, I had an older gentleman who was a veteran, and he was athletic director. And he said something so ridiculous to me. He said, I have a female boss, Do I put on cologne or when I go to a meeting?
What?
And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? But the point is, he never been able to relate to a woman other than being his daughter, his sister, his mother, or his wife. He didn't know how to deal with a woman as a leader or a supervisor. Mm-hmm. So again, it's about exposure. So if you expose young people to leadership in all areas of diversity, then it will not be shell shock, and give them an opportunity to experience that. And you'd be surprised how many young people in athletic department don't know the players in athletic administration.
Yes.
I mean, if it's just like how one team meeting, everybody just comes in. I mean, not just the compliance officer, but the human resource person, you know, the ticket manager. What do you do? What do you do? And so when they get a chance to see that, they'll go like, oh, I thought they just did. You know, I just thought that she was a secretary. Even though they're not called that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense. So what was the question you wanted to ask me?
Oh, no, I said I'm going to come back to your question.
Okay, awesome. I think that is a very valid point. And I think about when I was in college, I mean, I knew the trainer. I don't even think I knew the compliance person because maybe it was also the registrar. I knew of the athletic director, my coach, but I didn't know anything else. And then I went into coaching because I liked it a lot. And then that's kind of how I kept coaching, was because I really enjoyed it. And then I started to find out all these other positions that were existing that I had no knowledge about. You know, when I started my company, I think it's kind of like what, you know, rest in peace, Tori Morrison, what she said was, you know, if you can't find the book you want, you need to write it yourself. And that's essentially what I did. Was like, I'm not hearing people in athletics speak on these topics to help student athletes, to help staff members, to help coaches. So I just need to make it myself. I'm not sure what this piece of clay is going to look like or how I'm going to mold it, but I'm just going to push it out there and then mold it kind of as I go along and see what do they want to hear about? What do they want to talk about? And I think what you said about just showing these athletes what's out there can help them with their skill set. Because if we have a very artistic athlete who's a great, you know, graphic designer and that type of thing, and all we show them are coaches, they're not going to realize that there's a great place as a sports information director for them or a director of creative media. They're not going to know that those positions exist. You know, if they're very detail oriented, they're not, you know, and they would be perfect in the human resources office in athletic department. They're not going to know it exists. They're just going to know my coaches exist. And so I think, like you said, showing them a wealth of these positions is going to be amazing for them to say, I can still stay in athletics and do other things.
Absolutely. I knew nothing about sports information.
Mm-hmm.
I was a mass media major who saw a sign that said, looking for PR in sports. So I've been keeping score since 8th grade. I wrote for the local TV station for sports, which was rare for a female, but it just came to me naturally. And I was like, I can do that. Well, it was me and 4 other guys.
Yep.
And so understanding that you got to show, again, just like the podcast I do, you got to show them. I had a young lady to ask me, I said she want to join our private Facebook group that's gone up to 1,400 people. Woo-hoo! Yeah, she said, I'm in sports medicine. Do you have individuals like that in the group? I said, absolutely. Absolutely. I said, I just had Dr. Carlita Moore from Fayetteville State, who is now moving on to a different institution to oversee our athletic trainers inside our group. I had strength and conditioning coaches. And so when you join the Facebook group, you actually get a chance to see and network with those individuals. And I also have some students in the group, you know, some mature students who want to be able to network and get some ideas of who and how to ask some questions. So that's what my podcast do. They give advice and career advice about how to enter all these different professions. Because I'm going to be honest with you, Jen, I did not know there was a difference between strength and conditioning and athletic training.
Oh.
And I learned that by having folks on the show and talking to them and understanding what's a different type of skills that they share. And number two, interesting enough, that this mental health piece, I am 3 for getting individuals on college campuses who are on the mental health space. Temple, Mississippi State, and then a young lady that was interning with Fayetteville State. They came to me and they said, we have an interest in working with athletes in mental health. And I said, I got it. And we're blessed to have a sponsor, media partner, and a sponsor who came on, who was Center for Sport Behavioral Health, Dr. Mari Ross Alexander. We're going to be doing a book tour.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. I wrote a chapter in the book, and I talk about hitting some mental walls as an athletic administrator. And we're going to be hitting, I think, like 7 cities.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's as the kids say, well, they don't say that anymore. It says blowing up. They say it's what is it? Turn up, or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, awesome, Monique. So, where can the listeners find you? Where can they find information about your company, all the things that you do, your Facebook groups, all that stuff? Where can they find you? Social media?
Well, I like to first start off on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So let's connect on LinkedIn. My name is Monique A.J. Smith. If you are so inclined to follow me on Twitter, I'm a host of Chat. And the private Facebook group is called A Chat in the Garden with Monique A.J. Smith. And if you just type that in and you just ask to join, you get a wealth of knowledge. You'll get 5 years of replays from all the podcasts.
Awesome. I will make sure to put all the information kind of on my page as well. LinkedIn, everywhere I put, I'll make sure to put all your contact information. Once they hear this, they can go right there and click away and find you. Thanks again. I appreciate you a bunch, Monique. Thanks everyone for listening. As always, if you want to hunt me down, find me on all social media channels at Jen Fry Talks. If you want to shoot me an email, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, get at me at jenfrytalks@gmail.com. If you have an idea of a speaker I should bring on or a topic, please email me. I'm always on the hunt for them. Thank you and have a great day. Yes, Monique.
I want to say this. Jen was one of my leadership retreat alumni. Yes. And I'm telling you, she has done the work. And I would say really two pluses. Congratulations to you for doing the work to where you are.
Thank you.
All right. And number 2, all leaders, self-reflection is the key. Self-reflection is the key. And that's where you find your niche.
Yes.
When you find your niche, you soar like Jen Fry.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.